Small block modified horsepower from turn number 4. Remember, the winner goes to the outside starting spot in Eastern States. Saturday afternoon racing action. Green flag flies. We are on our way.
Down to the turn number 1, Chris Schultz, and little Richard way up there in no man's land. Apparently didn't watch the sprint car feature, and he saves it off at turn number 2. But now sitting in spot number 2 is Johnny Lito with Jeff Hetzler down to the inside.
He's got the Jeffer to deal with, and Hetzler may have slipped up the banking very quick. Hetzler's car is in trouble. Something wrong aboard the number 19 machine. Jeff Hetzler's car drifts up to the outside, and the car is shut off. That will bring out the yellow flag.
Fully prepared 28, Mike Sparta Trucking, car number 28. So Burger Steve out there in the 213 machine. He'll be looking for his first top 10 here at the Orange County Fair Speedway, and it might not be hard to do. In the restart zone, we go back to green flag racing.
Here we come out of turn number 4. Little Chief got the green go flag in hand and quickly back up to the number 1 slot. Will be the number 24 car on Christopher Schultz. Schultz shows the way while the judge works with Jackie Brown and Kirk Horton in row number 2.
Horton may be in trouble, gets a little crossed up down there over in turn number 2, but he keeps it going clean and green in the right direction to the 7K car. Here comes Bobby Henschel down to the inside along with the Bullfrog, Jeremy Markle. They'll go battling on the outside right now, almost 3 wide off at turn number 4. Your race leader is still Chris Schultz.
Watch Jeremy Markle. Now that car has picked up a whole lot of horse puppies down through turns number 1 and 2. It's going to be Markle pouring on the juice down the back straightaway. He moves up to the outside part of the fairgrounds right now, races past the Ferris wheel, and he grabs himself spot number 4.
And Henschel breaks. Oh, the front end has collapsed on the number 4 car. The 4SL is in trouble.
Yeah, that front end just collapsed on the Henschel car. And all the steering in the world did not help him. It took on a mind of its own and took him right into the buffer zone down there in turn number 4. Tough break for Bobby Henschel. Caution lights getting turned out. We're going back to green flag racing action this time. Still up there in the number 1 spot is Christopher Schultz aboard the Liberty Rock crushing car. He's got Jackie Brown Jr. to deal with. We'll ramble and scramble on a turn number 4 this time. No, we won't. Everett Halbridge is involved along with 2 other cars.
Here we come at turn number 4 in the restart zone. They'll get the green flag as Chris Schultz looking to pick up where he left off just a few moments ago. 3 laps are in the books. Going to try and put 4 in this time by.
Back to green flag racing action we go. Schultz on the outside, but here comes the Bullfrog. We told you bet Fido's dog license on that move because that car is full of horsepower tonight. Markle, the Lennon Joe's Pizza car. That's a product sponsor, by the way. Makes his move to the outside part of the fairgrounds, past the Ferris wheel, and he is 3rd spot bound and down.
Kirk Horton right now making his way back up through the field right now as he gets around little Richard Smith, and he'll go to work on Mel Schrufer, the 84 machine. Schrufer, former winner of this event here last season, the Academy Transmissions 84 car. So still up there at the front of the field, though, is a Liberty Rock crushing 24 machine of Chris Schultz.
Johnny Lito, cool as a cucumber, remains composed out there at the number 3 spot, driving a much finer line than Markle did that time. And Markle's car drifted way up to the outside as he is way strong in the turns, maybe just a tad bit too strong.
Wing windows starting to come off of the 213 machine. That's Burger Steve. Tough break for him, but he'll keep it going clean and green this time by. 5 laps are in the books. We'll make it 6 as soon as Chris Schultz crosses the line. There it is. Schultz and Brown, they lead the way down in turn number 1.
Lito still 3rd, Markle 4th. Tyler now back there in the number 5 spot aboard the 42 car. And Schmitty's in trouble. Richard Smith in the number 12 car got himself some damage on the passenger side. And he will try and get down in harm's way. Yellow lights come on the speedway. 7 laps down, yellow lights go on. Caution lights have now been turned down. Country Chevrolet Camaro quickly turns the small block horse puppies back on fire. Christopher Schultz to the inside. And we're set to go back to green flag racing excitement. The Howard Johnson's of Middletown Super 8 Lodge sponsored small block feature.
Jackie Brown catches Schultz sleeping at the start right now. So Brown now is your race leader. Schultz at 2nd. Lito now down to the inside. Schultz may be in trouble. As we stay clean and green down the back straightaway. Watch Mel Schrufer and Kirk Horton.
Something
and
really
yellow
to be found. Yellow lights on the speedway. Trouble. Jump the start. You will be penalized at the pole restarting spot at this time. And that's the only slap in the wrist he will get. Here we come. Back down to the racing action. We'll work him down through 3 and 4. Schulte back to the inside. Won't be caught sleeping this time again. Or will he?
Jackie Brown up to the outside. He's got the preferred line. He'll get a rub rail, though, from Chris Schultz down in turn number 1. Schultz will take back the number 1 spot.
Well, they don't call them rub rails for nothing. Down the back straightaway right now. Brown backs it back in line. Lito takes it all in from the number 3 spot. For how long, though, as Lito's trying very hard to close the gap on Jackie Brown Jr. right now. Right there on the tail side, takes the bullfrog Jeremy Markle. And then Danny Tyler. Showtime rounds out your top 5.
6th right now is the Razor, Mike Ruggiero. 7th is the 7K, the Captain Kirk Horton. He'll get a little love tap from the other purple car out there. Of course, that's Mel Schrufer in the 84. Everett Halbrick right now in the 717. He sits 9th, and 10th is Burger Steve. Hopefully he saves some money to finish this thing here on a full tank of gas.
Well, you said it could be a top 5 finish, and he put that side window down for additional aerodynamics. Works back there to round out the tires. It's just so darn hot tonight. He had some air conditioning going, that's all.
So Jimmy Spellman also sitting back there right now in his maiden voyage here in a small block modified, and still Chrissy Schultz still hangs on to the number 1 spot. Jackie Brown is 2nd, Lito 3rd. 4th is still Jeremy Markle. 5th is still Tyler, and everybody still stays in the same position. Here comes Spellman down to the inside of Stevie Walsh.
Marco's car once again slipped up the bank. That time gave Tyler a chance to play catch-up. It's catch-up, not mustard, as they work down through turn number 3 and 4. Tyler remains back there in spot number 5, but a tad bit closer to Jeremy Markle than he was a while ago.
Well, not a whole lot has changed since the last time I talked, as we stay clean and green. Everybody knows the tail, Talladega style, down the back. Straight away, Chris Schultz, Jackie Brown, John Lito. Race is on right now for the 10th spot. That's between Steve Walsh and Jimmy Spellman.
So Schultz, he sees nothing but the speedway as he takes that kind of small block power on a turn number 2 that time. Now he is beginning to turn the wick up just a tad bit. He stretches things out down the back straightaway. His gap gets wider and wider and wider.
So Schultz again leads another lap here down the front straightaway. 13 are in the books. It's a 25 lap feature event, so it looks like it'll be 12 laps to go. Jackie Brown still 2nd. Ruggiero still running just outside the top 5 right now. Showtime Danny Tyler, he sits 4th, so that would put Ruggiero in spot number 5.
Well, wide gaps are always okay as Schultz holds on to that maintained distance down the home straightaway. Almost a straightaway lead right now that he's got on Jackie Brown. Meanwhile, Jimmy Spellman's efforts go down the back straightaway. 11 laps shy of the checkered flag, and Spellman is pit bound.
Well, Timmy, this is going to give my good buddy Burger Steve the top 10 that he always wanted here at the Orange County Fair Speedway. But, of course, he's doing it here in the amateur pure stock division.
Well, Schultz remains at the head of class. Jackie Brown Jr. 2nd, Johnny Lito, the judge. The Herman's car remains back there in spot number 3. Then in spot number 4 has given up on the efforts to try and close that gap is the 313 car of Jeremy Markle. Meanwhile, Tyler is still pedaling the bicycle very fast down the back straightaway. He's got some sights in mind on closing up that gap.
We stay, we get the halfway side. Of course, 15 laps to go. 16 laps are in the books, 14 laps to go. Or whatever it's going to be, I'm not really sure. Chris Schultz is still your leader. Jackie Brown, Johnny Lito, Jeremy Markle, Danny Tyler, Mike Ruggiero, Captain Kirk Horton, Mel Schrufer, Everett Halbrick, along with Stevie Walsh. Burger Steve still back there in spot number 10.
Well, Chris Schultz would love to talk to LJ and Victory Lane tonight, not only for the first place money, but more so for that very, very impressive bonus of the outside starting spot for Eastern States small block racing action. That happens on this Saturday afternoon of Eastern States weekend. And this could be his night to put a big, big dragon behind him, as of course it is a twist of fate and a twist of feet to try and get yourself into the Eastern States feature event here at the Speedway.
Schultz right now starting to reel in some of the back markers. Of course, the first one is going to be Burger Steve right now. Stevie Walsh down there in turn number 1. He's still riding the outside, just kind of hanging on there to the number 10 spot as Schultz is going to reel him in. Sure, Steve will be a gentleman and move over to the side and let Schultz by. Jackie Brown still a very distant second. And even farther back is the judge, Johnny Lito. 10 laps to go this time by.
Well, in an open wheel stock car, it doesn't take long for you to hear a motor behind you, and you know when somebody's coming into your airspace, so to speak. So both those guys know that something's upon them right now, and that being the race leader, Chris Schultz, on a home to New York in that Liberty Rock Crushing family-owned coach. Down the back straightaway, holds on to the number 1 spot, clears both back markers.
Well, the legendary Everett Halbrick, I'll tell you, been around racing a very long time up the Accord Speedway here in Middletown, probably up and down the East Coast. And he's also got Steve Walsh back there. Walsh, a big-time campaigner back in the mid to late 90s at the Afton Speedway. Ran Accord a little bit here and there, more of a short tracker. He's got a 2004 Teal right now as he heads down the back straightaway. Got to be happy, though, with a 10th place finish here tonight.
We can remember the Everett Halbrick name from way back in the 1980s at the Nazareth Speedway as well. Always made the trip up from Lafayette, New Jersey, and ran Nazareth on a Sunday night.
Well, Steve Walsh now to the outside of Halbrick. He'll move up out of line, and Walsh now moves into spot number 9, and that's the first pass we've seen for a position in about 10 laps.
The boy might have some hidden talent, no two ways about it. Gets by an ageless veteran like Everett Halbrick here at this legendary House of Power. Not too shabby at all for Burger Steve.
Schultz still leads down the back straightaway. Jackie Brown still sits second. Johnny Lito is third. Fourth right now is Jeremy Markle. Fifth is going to be Showtime Danny Tyler. Looks as if he got around Ruggiero, who sits in sixth. Either that or I counted wrong.
Time winding down right now. We will look. Well, we said 25 laps, but I guess they're going to go 30 laps the distance. So nobody told us that. Second time we'll see the 5 to go sign come on the speedway.
So 5 laps to go right now for Chris Schultz down in turn number 1. Jackie Brown, he'll also get it as well. Kirk Horton now gets around Everett Halbrick. Johnny Lito still sits third. Fourth is Jeremy Markle in the Lennon Jones 313. Fifth is Danny Tyler. Sixth will be Ruggiero. Seventh is Kirk Horton. Eighth is Schrufer. Ninth is Burger Steve. And 10th is Everett Halbrick. And Halbrick slowing down on the back straightaway.
Halbrick has been slowing down the last couple of laps on the speedway now as Billy Schrufer tries to take the Academy Transmissions car by him. Winding down right now as Schultz is having things all his own way here this Saturday night at the Orange County Speedway. Works down into turn number 1 right now as Jackie Brown maintains that gap. Cannot close it up from back to the number 2 spot. Out of Kingston, New York.
Well, the 2 to go sign this time by. 2 laps to go right now. And I'll tell you, Tommy Meyer's got to be looking out here on this field and kicking himself in the pants because old Burger Steve going to get himself a top 10 out here tonight as he sits in ninth right now. But it's still Chris Schultz down the back straightaway. He'll get the white flag next time by.
Well, the worst thing, of course, is forfeiting a possible outside starting spot on Eastern State Saturday afternoon for the Small Block Classic here at the Speedway, because that's even more coveted than the first place paycheck here tonight at the fairgrounds. Now, white flag flies as Schultz corners by the Liberty Rock Crushing 24 machine.
Jackie Brown still sits second right now, and no change whatsoever in the top 5 as they head down the back straightaway. Jackie Brown knows he's got a solid second place. He'll hang on to what he's got. Double checker flags are set to fly as he comes off at turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in a 358 this year, it's going to go to Chris Schultz. Second spot will be Jackie Brown. Third spot, he's coming. It's Johnny Lito. Fourth spot will be the Bullfrog Jeremy Markle. And rounding up the top 5 will be Showtime Danny Tyler. Modified victory lane. No stranger to victory lane here at the Orange County Fair Speedway. Chris Schultz. Chris, I'll tell you, had that one restart there. Jackie Brown, I guess he kind of took off a little bit early, but they made things right and put you back at the point.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll take anything I can get here. You know, Jackie's a great competitor. I know he's races here every week with him, and he's a good guy. And You know, we're just real fortunate to come out on top tonight. We made a lot of changes this week. This is an engine that's been sitting in mothballs for a while, and just really overwhelmed by how well it ran tonight.
Chris, I'm sure there's a lot of people you got to thank, all these sponsors on the side of this car, everybody who helps you out week in and week out.
Yep, the main guy I got to thank Dick Humphrey. If it wasn't for him, we've been working hard at work all week, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had this thing together, putting in all the long hours and stuff. So I really got to thank Dick for putting in the long hours on the car, and everybody that helped out tonight. It was nice to come out on top.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He wins the 358 Modified 30-lap feature event, The Rock, Chris Schultz.